Okay, Chava, right now, I'm going to learn something very, very strong. You got to bear with me because, first of all, I'm tired and I have time to think. But I just, the moment before I left, I picked up here the Sefer, and there's a holy Sadigura Torah. Give me a heavy vision here. I think we learned it a few times, but we got it. Let me first take the Torah outside and then learn it inside. This Shabbos, the portion of the Torah begins Rאה Anochi Noitzen Lifneichem Hayom. Rאה, just to see. Anochi, I, the real I. Noitzen, strange. The whole time we didn't learn, it was quiet. The moment you learn, that's good, but it's crazy. The whole time was quiet, you know. Can someone tell them, please, really, to walk in the quiet? Tikam Su. Okay, it says, I give you today bracha, blessing, klola, and Gata mit the opposite of blessing. And then it begins to say, it's a bracha, the blessing is, Asher Tishmon, you should hear what God is saying. So this is the Torah of the Holy Sadigura, which is unbelievably deep. That actually, like, as far as I'm from Sadigura, the vision of sound. Because we were always learning a blessing means, when I bless you, it means you should have more than you had before. Remember, I told you the Holy Sadigura always, the vision always says, I say, Zugi. So first let me just translate to you the whole thing, and then we'll talk about it. Start saying, it says in Chaim, when Yidden fulfill all the mitzvahs, then the blessing and the blessings are shining. And then mitzvah gehers mitzvah. One mitzvah drags along another mitzvah. Meaning to say, everything is flowing. Zugi, he says, I say, if a person serves God just because he wants to serve God, then he received everything from heaven the way it is without pain. But if he serves God, not because he wants to serve God, I don't know why he serves him, or maybe he doesn't serve him, then everything he receives cannot come straight to him because he doesn't have vessels for it. So everything which comes down to this person is already like, cannot be pure anymore. Because like he's polluting it. Because if he is small, if you serve God on a God level, then everything comes down to you on God's level the way it is. But if you don't serve God because you serve God, if you serve God because you think it looks nice, or who knows what you're doing with your life, then you make everything which comes from heaven much of it you have. Everything is so small that even the highest blessing, when it comes down to you, it's so small. That's pain. First of all, just listen to this mind-blowing deep thing. We were always thinking that pain comes from pain, right? But you know what he says? Sometimes pain comes from good things also. This is the real pain. Pain is not if a person, an enemy, curses me or hates me, it doesn't hurt so much. But imagine if you love somebody very much, and you walk up to them and you tell them, I love you so much. Love you. And they say, I'm fine. And they didn't even listen to you. They thought you said, how are you, right? And they answer you back, I'm fine. Right? You know how much that hurts? I gave you the highest thing, and who knows what you received? So that means my life is already on the level of pain, because that's what I'm inflicting upon what God gives me. So then everything which I receive becomes painful. God. He says, if it's flowing down, mamish, without stop, with God's goodness, if the flow of life is so deep, then it doesn't hurt. So therefore he says, the only way is, you have to break your heart. You need to say, you see, if I leave my heart the way it is, my heart is not a vessel for that flow. But if I break my heart, I can break it open. Okay, that's what he says. Listen to this. Just want to say something to it, and I'm begging you, read it. I wish there would be no noise, because Mama's stopping the flow of my heart. I'm begging you. I don't know. I want to say something. I don't know. Connect a little bit to what Neil said. A little bit like what the Holy Sadigura says. Also, we're learning the last few weeks. It's so obvious, it's so simple, you know. You know what is really taking away most of us from Yiddishkeit? Very simple. People say, you know something? It's not real for me, you know? Maybe it's good for you, it's not real for me. Let's put it this way. Let's start from the other side. You know, I can serve God my whole life on the outside of me. In my real I wasn't in it. My own I wasn't in it. Or I can serve God on that level that my own I is in it. Now listen to this. We were always learning in Ishbitze, and Eli just mentioned it before, that a person is born in such a way that something is missing. You know what I want to say? People always say, you know, I'm going to turn on to Yiddishkeit, it doesn't touch my real I, right? But you know what it is? The truth is, you don't have your own I yet. But that you have an I, but it didn't connect to Yiddishkeit. Simply, you don't have your I yet. You didn't get it yet. You know, most people walk without an I. They don't have a real I. Whatever they do, they won't connect. Let's put it this way. How many people are married and their real I isn't even married? A lot of people, you know. What does it really mean to marry your soulmate? To marry your soulmate means that your I is married, right? To be married not to your soulmate means you're married, but your I wasn't in it. So listen to this, what I want to say. Obviously, you know what we're saying this month begins. We're saying Chodesh El, we say Ani l'doidi v'doidi li. You know what that means? For the first time, Ani l'doidi, my real I, is turning to the Rabbeinu Shalom. Ani l'doidi. All year long I'm serving God, but it's not with my real I. My real I isn't in it. You know, let me tell you this for those who maybe are not so clear what I'm talking about. This month, the last month before Rosh Hashanah, the initials of Elul, that's the name of the month, Elul, the initials are Ani l'doidi v'doidi li. I am to my beloved is to me. So everybody knows that Elul means Ani l'doidi, I turn to God. But what I want to say is Ani l'doidi. Well, let me think hard. Okay. Okay, let's start again. Ani l'doidi, mamish, my eyes to the Rabbeinu Shalom v'doidi li. Now listen to this, something very strong. Imagine there would be only one Jew in the world. And I would be that one Jew. And this one Jew, I heard God's voice on Mount Sinai. Imagine. Then I would mamish know God is talking only to me, right? It gotta be to me, because to my own eye, because nobody else he was talking to. I was the only one. The problem is that God spoke to all of Israel. So then, the saddest thing, it's very beautiful that God spoke to all of Israel. But the sad thing about it is that since He spoke to all of Israel, so it is possible to serve God on an outside level. You know, I just said that it's possible. To do tshuva means, in a nutshell, you see, because they asked the question, Ra'eh is Loshen Yochid. Ra'eh means one person, see. And Nois and Lifnech, I'm giving before you, is in plural. Okay, I want to say a nutshell like this. You know, I don't know, maybe someone else is saying it, but I don't remember often. What I want to say naturally is, God says to us, Anoichi, I give you, not Rabbi Shem says, I, Rabbi Shem, I, God, give you. But Re'eh, I give you an I. I give you an Anoich. Anoich and nice. And you know how I give it to you? Lifnechen and plural. I give it to you despite that I said the same thing to everyone. You'll still know I meant only you. You know what I want to tell you is like this. You know, in mitzvahs and Torah and everything, it's the same thing. The hardest thing is to connect mamish I and God. My I to God's I. That's the hardest thing in the world. And I want you to know something very, very deep. When I talk to the masses of the world, I put it in a book, right? Speak on television. Got to reach a lot of people. When I speak just to one, I just speak to you. Wait, let me think. Let's see. Yeah, I know. You know what I want to say, a little bit like the Ruzhyn, but my wife left already? She left?
She's still outside.
Okay, call her back 1 second to talk to her. Listen, they made a special cake for you now. You gotta stay a few more minutes.
What?
Okay, so just do it for you wait 5 minutes. תעשה עם חן בשקט. עם הידיים אבל בשקט. אוקיי, חבר'ה, נשמע מילים אין עולם הבא, יום שבת מנוחה. אין